Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Otaku Heaven coming at you with another review of episode 5 of Phantasy Star Online 2 The Animation. Now, this episode was pretty strange in the sense that Aiko just followed Itsuki around everywhere that he went. Basically, Itsuki has taken a strong interest to Itsuki, which later on is referenced by Itsuki actually saying that when he was a child, he always dreamed of becoming a hero, someone who would save Earth. And Aiko commented that the Earth is a very peaceful place, knowing that she bases everything around the PSO2 game, and the Darkers constantly assaulting the whole Phantasy Star Online ship. I forget the name of the place, but it was on that. It was on Phantasy Star Universe One. I forget, but anyway, the Guardians Colony. Yeah, basically the Darkers are pretty much attacking the Guardians Colony. If I'm not mistaken, that's the name of it in PSO2. But they're pretty much attacking the Guardians Colony constantly, and it's strongly hinted at that Aiko is actually from the PSO2 world. Perhaps she's an NPC that actually made it into, the real world, and she even has her little pet on her shoulder when they visit the market or the mall in the actual real world when they were actually going to collect some, which got me, they were actually going to collect some supplies from another school to host an event, and they were trying to cut down the cost by sharing with that school. But the thing is, after she met up with the other people from the school, Itsuki and Rina, the class president, they basically said, "All right, we're here to get the stuff," and then they said, "Oh well," they went to the mall after that. They just kind of blew them off after they said that they were going to come get the stuff. All they did was meet, and that was it. Um, Other than that, we move along to Rena actually manages to create her own character because after she's riding the bus with Itsuki and Aika, basically, she found out Aika has a character that has her own name as well. So Rena decides that she wants to make a character. And another thing that suggests that Aika's actually from the PSO2 universe or an NPC. Maybe not an NPC, but definitely from the PSO2 universe. And then managed to find her way into the real world. Is that when she was riding the bus, she clicked the stop button to get off the bus, and she didn't know what it does. And Itsuki explained it to her, and she was very intrigued with the whole scenario. So she really doesn't know anything about the real world. So it's very, very likely that she's actually from the PSO2 world and potentially an NPC, or maybe she's got a free conscious with the new AI tech that they mentioned in the student council's meeting room. So there's a lot of stuff going on there with it could be a theory, but it looks like it's strongly hinted at. So I'm not even gonna say it's a theory anymore because it pretty much looks like fact at this point. But I could be wrong. So I guess I will say that. Anyhow, Rena makes a new character, so Soro is pretty much gone unless she decides to log back onto that, which probably won't happen now that she's got her new character. Rena, which she asserted was the very first character she made in the first place. She made that abundantly clear. She could have been lying, but Itsuki called her out and said like, "Oh, why'd you make a new character?" And then she said, "Well, this is always the first character made anyway, and I'm gonna start playing on it since you two guys actually have your own characters with your own name. It makes you have a closer bond to your character," is what Itsuki told Aika. And then Rina overheard that, so that's what made her want to log back onto her old character. And after that, um, they went into a dungeon together. Basically, Rina and Itsuki were just fighting off the dungeon when all of a sudden someone came in and just pretty much murdered everything. It wound up being Aika. Aika has actually, I guess, created a new subclass for the summoner. She started leveling the summoner, and apparently they were really impressed with Aika's ability, and she actually managed to, you know, clear everything out and gain a lot of levels in a short amount of time, and it shocked the student council president Soro, which is supposed to be one of the better players in the entire game. So she's obviously got to be extremely good. And another thing that suggests that well, actually two more things that suggest that she could be from the PSO2 universe was that when the little girl in the mall actually lost her balloon, she managed to jump well above any human capability and grab the balloon. And on top of that, she got really, really angry when I believe it was Rena said something about thanking the Darkers for bringing them together. So basically, thanking the Darkers for attempting to invade the Guardians colony. or whatever the new ship was called. But I'm just gonna go with Guardian's Colony because that's the one I remember. But basically she got really ticked off at that. So that's another reason that suggests that she's actually from the PSO2 universe and potentially an NPC that's come to the new world and is just now learning about it. But overall, this episode was pretty interesting, so I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because I enjoyed it in the sense that it was interesting. Nothing really big happened, except for like one time, everyone thought that Itsuki was actually dating Aika and just doing everything he could do to make her a convenient girlfriend, and all the other girls were shunning him for it. I found that pretty funny. But this episode is about an 8 out of 10 because it was just really interesting, and it's gonna be cool to see where they go with Aika as a character. But that's all, guys. Peace.